What up, everyone? I just finished my first day of the New York Bar. So, if you are unfamiliar, the first day is the MPT, which is 2 performance-based essays, and then the afternoon is 6 essays called the MEE. Honestly, I left feeling a lot better than I thought I would. The morning was nice because our performance essays were very straightforward. So I was like, thank God, starting the day with something not crazy and like no blind sides. Also, I'll just say like getting to the test center and like everything was just so smooth today for me that was so nice. Like definitely if you can like do some pre-planning and just have whatever's in your control taken care of, you know, it's nice when the things outside of your control also just go smoothly. So that was really nice. And then after lunch, did the 6 essays. Some of them, I mean, I obviously didn't know everything, but you know, I went into it knowing that some of it would just be a creative writing exercise. You know, once I get my scores back, if they're not great, I never said this. But today I'm feeling good, which is nice. It feels nice to be done. 1, I'm halfway done. Oh, thank God. And 2, just to go into the second day knowing like, I feel like all I have to do is what I did in practice as far as multiple choice goes, and I'm done. So I'm hoping I can just use this energy to finish strong, and I'm like so excited to be free. I wanted to record this just to check in and provide my thoughts, and now I'm gonna veg out for tonight, so. What's up? I just finished day 2. It's so long. And honestly, I feel like walking out of the multiple choice feels worse than the essays, because the essays, you know, you got some stuff and like got some points, but the multiple choice will just have no idea. Yeah, I'm very tired. I'm gonna keep this brief. Maybe I'll do a longer reflection later, but right now it's brain rest time, but we're done, hopefully forever. Alright, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Tyler. I'm a 3L at Columbia Law, and I just took the bar exam. Well, I just took it yesterday, but yeah, I wanted to make a video just documenting some of my post-bar exam thoughts. You know, we've set up a nice vibe of safe space, if you will. I've been laying on the couch all day, just resting. Mostly because I've been so exhausted after the last 2 days. Yeah, I think the craziest thing about taking the bar is I didn't feel as relieved as I thought I would. You know, like, I'm definitely glad it's done. I'm very relieved I don't have to study anymore right now, or at least I'm not going to. Yeah, but I think the thing that sucks is just now the waiting for results. You know, unlike a lot of other grad programs or doctorates or whatever, there's a lot of writing for the bar exam, so it takes a while to grade, so scores probably won't come out for a few months. But yeah, in the meantime, I'm just gonna keep myself busy, and really I've just been trying to refocus and be proud of taking the exam at all and all the work that went into it. You know, even if I'm still a little anxious because who knows how it went. Yeah, it's still just like so, like, I couldn't have done anything else, right? Like, I did my best. I studied for like 2 months, put in the work that I could, and did as best as I could on test day. But yeah, it just feels so weird, you know, being in this kind of limbo space waiting for results. I guess we'll just take it day by day. So I recorded little bits after each exam, which are a little delirious probably just because my brain is so like, I don't know, worn out. But the first day I actually left feeling a lot better than I expected. First day is the MPT, which is the performance test, and the MEE, which are the 6 essays. Yeah, I mean, I for sure didn't know everything on all of them, but the MPT felt very lucky. Felt very straightforward with the prompts that were given. So thank goodness for that. It wasn't like weird formats that I was unfamiliar with. So, you know, just did that for an hour and a half. I definitely ran out of some time. It would have been nice to have a little more time to go back and like check things or add some more citations or make some more like robust conclusions. But it is what it is. You know, I think I did as much as I could with how fast of a typer I am. I'm like not the fastest typer, so we got what we could on the screen or the page or whatever. The MEE, I don't know. I mean, there was definitely also things on the MEE I did not know the exact rules for, but I do think that I was able to hit every single thing and throw something at it. You know, I went into the essays hoping to know as much as I could, but knowing I wouldn't be able to recall probably everything verbatim. So I kind of went in just with the expectation that it would be a creative writing exercise to a certain extent, and just gave myself the freedom to do that. You know, obviously threw in as much substantive law as I remembered and then just tried to apply whatever facts I could to that. but they do just go by so quickly. It is so crazy. But yeah, when I left the first day, actually, because of that, I just felt like, you know, I managed my time well, which I think is probably one of the most important things to do on that day. So that way I could get as many points as I could across all the different questions. And then I left and the weather was so nice. And then I went home and just like kind of vegged out. And yeah, and then day 2 was pretty smooth. I honestly got there way earlier than I needed to, which was unfortunate because then I was just kind of sitting around at the testing center for a long time. Do not recommend that. I also did not sleep well at all before the first day, right? Like I was so anxious that I could just literally, like, the physicality of my anxiety was so tangible. Like I've never felt that way in my life. Like I felt so nauseous and just couldn't sleep and my mind was reeling, you know, so I only got a few hours of sleep honestly before day 1, but because of that, going into it, I had so much adrenaline and was kind of like in a wacky state for whatever reason. But then day 2, I slept a lot better, I think, just because I at least had gone through half the exam. For some reason, the multiple choice to me just felt less anxiety inducing because you know you're not going to know like exactly what types of questions you're going to get, but you know you're going to get 25 of each type and whatever, and that there's going to be 200 of them, and you know the topics that are going to be tested, at least, like, you know, it's going to be all the major subjects. Whereas the MEE, it's like you could get an essay on a subject that you're totally unfamiliar with, you know, so it's a little bit of like a predictability game. But yeah, so because of that, I think I slept better, but then I also just didn't feel as like energized, if that makes sense. Like I didn't have the adrenaline from the anxiety, which, you know, is definitely pros and cons, but it did make trying to get like up to speed on the multiple choice a little bit more difficult for me. You know, there was one point during the first section where I was like, ooh, like half the time is gone and I'm not halfway through yet. But I think it's just so hard because when you're doing like practice tests that aren't quite as long, if it's like 25 questions or 34 questions or 68 questions or 100 questions, like the 100 questions is the full set you'll do. And so I was usually doing like 50 questions in my practices. I don't know what it was. I just had more time or energy to really think through exactly what was happening in each one. But on test day, I just felt like I was so constrained for time that I was kind of just trying to trust my gut intuition on some things and move on just so that way I could get to all the questions, which was unfortunate because I feel like I was able to reason through questions a lot better on my practice, but you know, whatever. Like I did it. So I don't know. So I'm hoping the practice just paid off, like essentially, and that I just did as well as like my worst practice exams, essentially. You know, I don't need to do as well as my best practices to pass this test. Yeah, so day 2 was just so much longer, honestly, for me, which I was kind of surprised by because during studying, I found doing multiple choice a lot more enjoyable. I think it was just because I could click it and start doing a multiple choice problem, whereas like doing an essay problem, I would just stare at the start button for so long because I was like, ugh, I really just don't want to like write something right now. But yeah, so then I left day 2. You know, the weird thing about multiple choice is when you've been studying, you can review all of your answers either right when you answer it or after the practice test is done. So you can kind of immediately see how you did and go through the different things and review. So it is just such a weird, different feeling to just close your answer book and hand it back and then we won't know for 2 months. That is a little jarring, and I will say if you can take some practice tests leading up where you are just taking it without doing the review in between each question, I think that is really helpful because you can get used to the sensation of like, we pick one and we move on, and we pick one and we move on, you know, and then obviously review those when you're practicing, but then come test day, hopefully it won't feel quite as foreign to be like, oh, like this rhythm feels different than when I was practicing. But yeah, but it's done. It's done now. So that is something that has been very weird though. Like I honestly didn't expect it, but so many people have been so nice. I have so many amazing friends who texted me and messaged me just congratulating me for being done. And I find myself really like pushing back a little bit in a weird way, being like, oh yeah, I hope I'm done, you know, like, and I think that's just because we don't have the results yet. And I'm not a superstitious person, but I don't know what it is. I just didn't want to put it out there that it's like done because maybe it won't be. I think maybe it's a mental thing for me. Like if somehow, some way I fail this exam, you know, which could happen. It happens to a lot of people. I just don't want to mentally like clock out, I guess. But because of that, I'm having a hard time just like celebrating. And so, you know, I'm really trying to give myself the freedom to just celebrate taking the test, you know, and all the work that went into that, no matter what the results are. You know, maybe some people feel similarly. Hopefully not. Hopefully you're just like excited and happy and done. But yeah, I found that to be a little surprising because I was so excited to be done, you know, and hopefully Like I said, hopefully I am, and hopefully if you've taken it, you are. But it does just feel like a weird limbo space. So trying to give myself permission, I guess, to be happy about the work that I've done. I'm seeing some friends tomorrow to celebrate, so I think that'll be really nice. I think I just need to reconnect with people who I miss because I've been prioritizing studying so much. So that's essentially where my thoughts are at. You know, I really hope I pass because honestly, like taking the bar, there wasn't anything necessarily bad for me about taking the bar. Like nothing happened that I was like, oh, like I had the stomach flu or like whatever. But man, the experience of doing it just was so awful. Like it was so awful. I don't want to do it again, even though the plan is to take California. So even if I pass, I'll be taking another bar, but it is just such a grind. Like it really is just such a long exam. So that adrenaline really helps. Be kind to yourself. I think it's also just because it is literally the day after, right? So thinking about having to do that again would send me into a spiral. So that's also why I'm like, let's just manifest that I have really kind essay graders and that I did well enough on the multiple choice. Yeah, but those are my thoughts essentially, you know. I just wanted to share them because I think it's such a weird exam. And I guess I'm surprised at how conflicted I feel, but I'm working towards just celebrating. Hopefully you are celebrating. Yeah, and you know, even though I am hesitant to say it, I'm like, I'm done. I'm done with that exam, at least, you know, I'm done with it. That is very nice. The freedom is very nice. I'm so excited about the next few months. All I'll be doing now, I'm in a program where I take the bar early, so I'm actually still in law school. So I will just be doing pro bono work and seeing my friends and working towards graduation. So, you know, lots of really good things to come that I'm so excited about. So weird, I'm like actually getting like kind of emotional, but yeah, there's just so much to look forward to. Congrats if you took the bar exam. I'm proud of you for doing it. Celebrate in whatever way seems best for you. I'm probably gonna have some cake or something and definitely going to see my friends. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, or don't. Do whatever you want, but I appreciate you watching if you've made it this far, and here's to hopefully never having to take the bar again, or at least the New York bar for me. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video, I guess. Bye.